let's be honest for a second. Mako Tsunami is very easy to write off. He's the fish guy. That's it. That's the pitch. He talks about the ocean like it's his best friend. He runs a full aquarium for a deck. And he insists on dueling next to water like he'll physically lose power if he's more than 10 feet from a shoreline. In a show where people are possessed by ancient pharaohs and billionaires threaten the world over cardboard, Mako feels like he wandered in from a completely different anime. And yet, he's actually kind of great, because the twist with Mako isn't that he's secretly evil, or working for Pegasus, or hiding some cursed artifact in his tackle box. The twist is that he's just genuine, painfully, refreshingly genuine. He's not trying to conquer the world or prove he's the ultimate duelist. He just wants to win enough money to buy a fishing boat and carry on his dad's legacy, which, in Yu-Gi-Oh terms, is basically the most normal motivation anyone has ever had, and that's exactly why he works. Yu-Gi-Oh has always been at its best when the duels aren't just about I summon big monster, you lose. The rules are nonsense half the time anyway. People attack the moon. Monsters hide underwater like that's a legal mechanic. Trap cards activate exactly when the plot demands it. It's chaos. Beautiful, nostalgic chaos. But the duels that stick with you? They're the ones where the deck actually means something. That's Mako. His deck isn't just water theme because we needed variety. It's his life. The ocean isn't just a gimmick for him. It's everything. It's dangerous. It's unpredictable. It took his father away, and he still loves it. When he plays Umi and floods the field, it doesn't feel like a strategy so much as him dragging his entire world into the duel, which is honestly kind of metal when you think about it. And Duelist Kingdom is the perfect place for that kind of character. Back then, duels weren't happening in clean corporate arenas with holograms and rules that almost make sense. They were happening on cliffs, in forests, in caves, and apparently right next to the ocean if you were Mako, everyone had their zone. Weevil had bugs in the woods. Rex had dinosaurs because of course he did. Panic had darkness. And Mako? Mako had the sea. And when Yugi faces him, it's not like facing a villain. Mako isn't trying to ruin anyone's life. He's not out here threatening souls or laughing maniacally. He just wants to win. Because winning means he gets closer to his goal. That alone gives the duel a completely different vibe. Yugi isn't stopping evil here. He's beating a guy who actually deserves to win just as much as he does, which makes it weirdly emotional for a duel that includes attacking the moon. And yeah, we have to talk about that. Yugi attacking the moon is one of the most ridiculous things in the entire series. It makes zero sense. It breaks every rule. It's completely absurd, and it's also perfect. Because Mako's whole strategy is hiding his monsters under the sea, controlling the battlefield, making everything feel uncertain and dangerous. Yugi doesn't beat him by just overpowering him. He literally changes the environment. He messes with the tide. He forces everything hidden to come out. It's nonsense. It's genius. It's early Yu-Gi-Oh! In a nutshell. But what really makes Mako stand out isn't just the duel mechanics. It's what's behind them. The guy is carrying around a lot more than fish cards. His dad was lost at sea. That's not played for shock value or melodrama. It's just there, quietly shaping everything about him. The ocean isn't just where he lives, it's where his grief lives. And instead of running from it, he builds his entire identity around it, which is honestly kind of heartbreaking when you stop and think about it. And then there's the legendary fisherman. On paper, it's just a strong card. In reality, it's basically Mako's emotional support monster. He sees his father in that card. Not literally, but you can tell it means something way deeper than this helps me win duels. It's a symbol. It's a memory. It's the version of his dad he can still hold on to. So when that card is on the field, it's not just a play. It's personal. That's something Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually does really well when it wants to. Yugi has Dark Magician, Kaiba has Blue Eyes, Joey has Red Eyes, everyone's got their This Is Me card. But Mako's version of that isn't about power or dominance. It's about legacy, and that hits different. What's also refreshing is that Mako isn't hiding anything. There's no secret agenda, no betrayal waiting to happen, no ancient curse. He's just a guy who misses his dad and wants to keep his memory alive. In a show where half the cast is either possessed or plotting something, that's weirdly rare. He also makes Duelist Kingdom feel bigger. Like, yeah, we remember Pegasus and Kaiba and all the main plot stuff. But characters like Mako make it feel like this tournament actually pulled in people from all over, each with their own reasons for being there. Not everyone is fighting for the fate of the world. Some people just want a boat. And honestly, that's kind of nice. Later, Yu-Gi-Oh! Gets bigger and louder and more dramatic until every duel feels like it's deciding the universe. Which is fun, don't get me wrong. But you lose something when everything is that high stakes all the time. You lose characters like Mako, the guy who isn't evil, isn't a joke, isn't just there to get beaten and forgotten. He's a fully formed person with a life outside the duel. You can actually imagine what he's doing after the episode ends. Probably fishing. Definitely thinking about his dad. Still chasing that same goal. That's rare for a side character. And then Battle City brings him back, which is great because it proves he wasn't just a one-off gimmick. He's still the same guy, just stronger, same ocean deck, same vibe, same emotional core, and then he runs into Joey, which is honestly one of the most underrated matchups in the series. Because neither of them are elite duelists. They're not Kaiba with his infinite money or Pegasus with his mind-reading nonsense. Joey is scraping by on guts, luck, and sheer stubbornness. Mako is carrying his dad's legacy on his back. It's two underdogs with completely different lives but the same level of determination. And then the anti-rule kicks in, which suddenly makes everything worse, because now the legendary fisherman isn't just a card. It's something Mako can lose! And when Joey wins it, it's not just cool, new card. It's kind of painful. You're happy for Joey, but you also feel bad for Mako because that card clearly means way more to him than just its stats. That's the kind of emotional mess Yu-Gi-Oh! Is weirdly good at when it slows down for 5 seconds. Mako is basically the perfect example of how to write a side character in this show. Give them a theme, sure, but tie that theme to something real, something personal. Something that actually explains why they duel the way they do, because otherwise you just get fish guy. With Mako, you get a guy who uses the ocean because it's where his father disappeared, where his dream lives, and where he feels closest to the person he lost. That's a huge difference, and it's why people remember him way more than you'd expect for someone with relatively little screen time. He doesn't need a massive arc or constant appearances. His concept is just complete. You get him immediately, and the more you think about him, the more there is to appreciate. Also, let's be real, he's one of the few characters who can lose and still walk away with dignity. He's not humiliated. He's not turned into a joke. He just loses, accepts it, and keeps going, which is honestly more impressive than half the villains in the show. At the end of the day, Mako represents something Yu-Gi-Oh! Sometimes forgets. Not every duel needs to be about saving the world. Sometimes it's enough for it to be about saving something small, a memory, a legacy, a dream. And yeah, it sounds a bit dramatic when you say it like that, but this is Yu-Gi-Oh! Dramatic is kind of the point. Mako Tsunami might look like the fish guy, but he's actually one of the clearest examples of what the show does right. He proves that even the simplest idea can hit hard if it comes from somewhere real. The ocean took his father. The ocean became his home. The ocean became his strategy. And somehow, through all of that, it also became the way he keeps his father close. For a guy whose whole thing is, I like fish, that's a lot deeper than it has any right to be. And honestly, we could use a lot more characters like him.